Hi guys, welcome back to another amazing video. Today we'll be travelling the line between Penistone and Wath marshalling yard. So this line was freight only for the electrics. There was a DMU service that went to Barnsley, but this had nothing to do with the electric network. Like I say, we'll share this for half a mile before spurring off to go through several colliery lines, go underneath railways, over railways, join at junctions, before we reach our final destination at Wath marshalling yard. I've been told to expect the unexpected at Wath, so come on, let's check it out. Hi guys, here we are, we're at Penistone station. We're looking east now at the line that still exists. The one on the left is a line that goes to Barnsley, but there was also a line on the right, and that was the main line, the main Woodhead line, that took you all the way to Sheffield, Victoria. So this line that's still standing on the left is the one that's eventually going to take us to Wath Yard. In fact, it's not a DMU service as such, we just share this for half a mile before we then take a spur. Then we'll hit all the heavy industry of Yorkshire. So here we are at Penistone station, look at that. Remember, this was a junction. You're very lucky to see this at the moment, because at one stage they did want to shut all the line down. Now there's a junction ahead. Let's go and find it. What it is, an electric overhead stanchion. Right, here we are at the end, or shall I say the start, of the freight line that's going to take us to Wath. As you can see, we've still got the running line that goes to Barnsley. But this is where the Tommies came off and went to Wath to gather all that coal. All the coal industry went that way, and luckily someone's been chopping up all this wood to make it a nice interesting route, so hopefully it's not as chaotic as I was predicting. Let the fun begin. And here's one of them concrete things, looks like for the overhead stanchions. Yeah, that's the route. I'm sure you can tell with the modern concrete this was for the overhead electrics. Same again the other side. That's where we're heading, guys. Yeah, for holding whatever. Like you say, we've just come off that junction now, so it's most probably relevant for either signals or stores. Yeah, I expect there's a signal here. That's just wide enough to stick a signal in, keep it off the track. Yeah, just thought to show you this stone structure in the wall. Why look at it? Because there was another one up there. I thought, right, is this the locations of signal boxes? There's certainly a lot of stuff here. I'll give you a location. We're very near this bridge that goes over. So here's that bridge from the other side. Look at that baby. They were built to last, weren't they? Nice. So yeah, this route, you can tell it was a railway line. Not like that Trans-Pennine Trail, it hasn't been destroyed. You can still see tiny bits of ballast here, there and everywhere. And if you look up, you can see there's a direct route. And this was the original railway route, remember. No digging or filling in. Nice signal stanchion there. Most probably that's leading towards Penistone, so it's most probably a stop just before the junction. Now before you say is this a challenging walk, that's what I've got to walk through. Bring it on. Yeah, interesting walk. We are in the valley, so this is the freight line valley. If you can see up at the top there, that's where the Barnsley line runs. In fact, I've just missed a DMU. But a bit down here, hopefully we'll find us a tunnel. Yes, this is what I wanted to show you. Can you see that black thing ahead? I think we've found the tunnels, guys. There she's going over the top, and here it is down below. Oh my God, can you see it? It's getting pretty clear now. This is the first of the two tunnels on this freight avoiding line. Right. Oh my goodness, look at it. It's so majestic. Look at that embankment. Wow. It's looking pretty dark in there. It looks like we're going up, guys. Oh, wow, this is so spooky. So spooky. Absolutely amazing. Like I say, black as the ace of spades. It's interesting looking at this tunnel mouth here. Look at these masonry signs here. So there's one, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. You can see it just goes all the way up. And I've just been looking on the other side and they're literally exactly the same. Wonder if this all early engineering generations, blah blah blah. But wow. Wow guys, that was not one easy climb. Wow, I'm knackered. Look how deep that baby is. So yeah, apparently there should be another side of the tunnel just beyond this pathway. Let's go and explore. Wow, what's this all about? Well, that's where the line went. Can you see all those yellow things? Taking heed of what was just written on that last message, I decided to stay at the top of the valley. So I'll show it you from a distance. That is where the other, that tunnel we've just been looking at, that's where the other tunnel mouth of it was. The other bit is over there somewhere. Let's keep exploring. I must be crazy. I just slipped on my arse, I got mud on it, everything else. Don't come down this bit, guys. I'm just the idiot who wants to video it for you lot. Right, let's keep exploring. So as I was skiing down these embankments on my backside, one or two bits I did hit was like slate. So it's not really rocks they were chilling through here, it's like slates. See all those little bits on the side? So I expect it's an easy fix for these navvies compared to all that hell they went through when they were digging out Woodhead. Right, as you can see ahead, we've got a second tunnel. Yeah, look at that, you can see the slates. See all those little jars sticking out. Lovely. And just like that last tunnel, look how high she is. Straight through the middle. There she is. Looks like there may have been stanchions here. Beautiful. And it looks like we might be able to walk through. I think there's one of those bars missing. Oh, you can see this, guys. This looks like one of those supports inside the tunnel that took the electrics. Same again on the other side. Very near the end of this tunnel now. Yippee, escape route. Thank God I didn't eat all them pies. And there she is on the other side. Beautiful. Right, just what lies ahead. Let's keep exploring. There she's looking back. And look at this little piece of architecture. Very strongly suspect there's some kind of a signal box here. So here we are, we're starting the bridle path. It looks a bit of an easier walk now. Shame really, I'm not sure we'll find as many clues. We're leaving all this behind. Right, let's slowly make our way to Wath, eh? A little hard to find, but yes, them stanchions are still there. Foundations for them anyway. Same again over there. If you look where that thorny thing is, you can just see the concrete underneath. And that just gives you an idea on how wide this line was. I do like this trail, I've said that many times before, because they have kept it as it is. Beautiful. Let's keep exploring, guys. Here's an interesting close-up on that bridge. What these were for? What are these for supporting them cables? No, for the power supply. A nice testament to what used to be, I suppose. A telegraph pole. Nothing attached. Looks like it's a weird structure down below. Let's go and check that out. Well, look at this. Miners. Looks like some of the old things that you saw on the stations, you know. Nice monument to the mining industry. Yes. So as I say, this is the freight only line, but it served all the collieries leading up to Barnsley way, even, you know, outskirts. So this is like the industrial side of the Woodhead line. So basically we would not see any passengers on this line, but plenty of freight and collieries. The collieries were over here somewhere. I'll point them out once we find some spurs. Wow guys, look at this view. This is absolutely fantastic, and it's on a fantastic morning as well. It's hard to believe that this was once full of collieries, smoke bellowing out here, there and everywhere. You look at this oasis and you think you're in paradise. Wow, how much this has changed in 40 years, eh? Look at that proper bridge. Now, could you see those new bricks? That's a sign of the alterations they made when they electrified the line, because you couldn't get the pantographs underneath. So they had to raise the bridge in order to accommodate for the Tommies. That's where it happened, guys. Here's an interesting find. Looks like it accommodates a stream of some kind. Still got the old turret, so same again on the other side. Now if you notice here, it's getting pretty wide. We definitely had some sidings here, and there were some spurs off to a couple of collieries. So I expect these were like sorting sidings before they went down to pick up either empties or full loads of coal. So this is the location where we had a spur that went off to one of the collieries. This, can you see that line there going down and round? That went to the old colliery, Old Sovereign Colliery. Also at the very end of that line there was a more end colliery as well as the Elsecar colliery. Right, let's just hold it there. So this branch, the one we're looking at, was the original route that ended at Moor End Colliery. This was called the Worsbrough Branch, and it opened in 1850. The line, which we have just walked, was built in 1880 in order to connect the Yorkshire collieries with Lancashire industry. The trouble is, this connection was on a very steep gradient. In fact, it was called the Worsbrough Incline, and because of this, Great Central had to introduce some very powerful locomotives, the Garretts. That's why when it was electrified in the 1950s, they had to use double-headed 76s or 26s in order to get up the incline. Right, let's continue. And I'm still in the same location. I'm looking on the other side of the track. Strangely enough, this was a location of the new Sovereign Colliery. So obviously serves similar locations, both of them feeding the main line here. Same again, a little bit further down, you can see where the new Sovereign sidings were. See all that flat land there? That served the colliery. And like I say, it rejoins our line just a bit further over there. Yep, I'm still on that site of the new Sovereign Colliery. Found this little artefact. Expect that served the lines. That's where he went up to. And our line is just beyond them trees. And here she is, a nice close-up. Strange. What's all that about? Oh yeah? Don't know what that served. Oh, that's what was inside that structure. Right, so I've just crossed the line. Again, I'm still at that location of the new Sovereign. And I'm just looking beyond the field. I can see a tree line. Now this, I think, is another coal branch line. The one that served Wentworth Colliery. And there's where we've just been. There is the branch line to Wentworth. No, not Wentworth Prison, Wentworth Colliery. no cell block H there, I'm afraid. And this is where it joined up with our line. As you can see with all these old trees, you can see that we have got a few sidings here. Definitely. Come about half a mile since that last shot. Yeah, like I say, it's been going on a while now. Like a mini marshalling yard. There's a colliery down at the bottom, like I say, called Stratford Colliery. And if you look over here, you can see the location on where the signal box used to be. Let's get through this chaos and show you a bit closer. Yeah, definite signs of a signal box here. Perfect for serving the marshalling yard. Right, let's see if we can find the site of this colliery. Yeah, another clue a bit further down. Looks like it may have been the foundations for a stanchion, and it looks like we're getting big open plan now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we're very near the site of that next colliery. So this is it, guys. This is where our line meets up with Stratford Mining Complex. There's a pit over there. There's loads of sidings on this side, as I'm sure you can work out. And over there there's a big industrial estate which was the main colliery itself. So you can see yourself, it's had plenty of traffic in its day. Still near the side to that old colliery, I found this structure. It could have been a bridge that went over, you know. No, it's the sides. But there doesn't seem to be much over here unless it had something to do with the original colliery complex of old and it's been demolished and removed since. Right. Let's keep going. I can hear a very noisy motorway, so that gives you an idea on how close we are to the M1. Nice modern-ish, I'd say 60s, 70s bridge. And it looks like it's got some bits underneath. Let's check them out. Yeah, looks like it held something. Could be the wires underneath. Don't want to go too far out, or you'll get that sun and it'll block it. Yeah, all the way along, 3 lots of them. Right, let's keep going, guys. Oh, right, interesting. A bit of cable ducting maybe, or maybe that for drainage. All still here. And here we have the blight, which is the M1 motorway, and obviously we had to go over. Like a local artist there doing his thing. A nice warning sign telling me about gradients ahead and behind. Shane wasn't at any arms there to justify what they actually were. But yeah, it's getting a bit more countrified now, but still railway artefacts to be found. Yeah, this one's got me stumped. Can't work out what that is. In fact, I did find a little grill thing on the other side. See if that was part of it. Yeah, this was scooped up and chucked on the other side. Was that part of that original structure we just looked at? Yeah, looks like plenty of signals type of junk. Looks like they were the covers, you know, where the cables went down. Just dumped everywhere. This looks very similar to that last thing, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was a drainage thing running alongside the track. Yeah, we're just 1 mile short of Worsbrough. Hopefully it'll get a bit more urban. Yeah, same again. 3 cable holders, 1, 2, 3. So I have been travelling a little while now and I haven't found any real clues. I did notice there's some modern grids been put on the track. I'm wondering whether they sacrificed the original track for drainage and so wiped out whatever clues were originally available. Let's keep going, let's see if it improves. Well, there's our line. Came up here, crossed the road here and went that way. And there's a level crossing here. I wonder if we can find any pictures. As always, the navvies have not let us down. Look at that beautiful structured work there, keeping this nice and clean. And look at this beauty. I know someone who will be happy with that. Yeah, that's you, Shredder. I know you like your lattice bridges, but that looks immaculate. There you go. Very nice. Now, remember we talked about them bridges that were raised for the electrics? Notice how there it looks like there's some extra set of steps been put in. Does that mean it was raised for the same purposes? Here we have a lovely panoramic shot from the top of it. Look at it, guys. Oh, this would have been fantastic filming the 76s flying through. E-bar-gum. Yep, our line is just behind them trees. I couldn't have picked a better spot to have a lunch break. This is beautiful. So here we are, we've just come up to a main A road that we're crossing over. Definitely a level crossing here. Look at this building. Definitely a level crossing, hook that. Beautiful. Right, that's where we're off to. Looks like we're getting to the business end of the branch now. Right, so got a nice spur here for you. This spur went up there and it served a bell in Colliery. About 300 yards up there. That's the start of it all. I believe there's an Asda on the site now. And same again, same location, but on this side there used to be a goods shed as well as the Dean and Dove steelworks. It's now been taken over by a recycling plant. Shame really. So we should be coming up to a bit of a junction very shortly. So very close to where that goods shed was, there was also a level crossing here. An old school house, I don't know if it's part of the original structure or it was just built for purpose, but this is where our line's going. Like I say, there was a few sidings. There's a sawmill up here on the left hand side, and there was also a line that went down to the basin, down to the riverside. Let's see what clues we can find. See where all these guys are building? I suspect this was the location of that sawmill I was telling you about. Again, it had sidings feeding from this line. Wow, I was certainly right when I said this is a business end. Right, so like you say, you got that sawmill, you got our main line here. There was also a line that went off on this side, and if you look down there you can see how flat it is. That's a flat line that will take you down to a basin and beyond. So like I say, plenty of railway history around here. So same again, we're still in the same area. So this was a bit of a triangle that went to another colliery, a colliery up this way called Darley Colliery it was called. In fact, you can see the line over there, and this is also the point where that line went off to that quay I was telling you about. So I've literally walked about 300 yards and done about 6 different entries. So you know yourselves it's getting really, really crazy at the moment. Right, let's keep going. Yep, you guessed it, another line going to another colliery. It's spurred off here, around the back of this sewage treatment place to Edmund's Colliery. Edmund's Colliery was just down there. So yeah, still at that chemical place. Notice how here it's getting wider on this side. Apparently there used to be a coking plant here. So obviously had plenty of sidings serving the old industries there. Yeah, did a quick explore of this coking area, and it has got a load of trinkets here, there and everywhere, moss-filled bricks and everything else. Plus this little baby. I suspect this was a signal box, you know. Not a big signal box, but certainly looks signal boxified. Either that or a bod box. But look at it. Strewn with junk here, there and everywhere. Nice. So that's generally where that coking plant was. But look a bit beyond now. Look how massive this yard is. Jesus, I bet it had loads of sidings here. Beautiful. I think it wasn't used by electrics, but certainly whilst the Woodhead was in its prime, the steamers were using this for fun. Yeah, we're still at the coking place, and it looks like we found some of the ovens. Got all this ash here. I suppose this is where they did all the coking, whether they're making bricks or whatever, but yes, it was Looks like it's served its purpose. Yeah, there's another one. They're all the way along. Can you see them? Fantastic. So now we're crossing over a street that's called Station Street. I don't think there's a station actually on this line here. Our line is meant to be freight only. I know a bit further down there's some other lines, so maybe that's the station it relates to, but I don't think there's a station here. This is our route, so like you say, it looks like it had a level crossing. Looks like we've got a railway wall here, but why have we got a little spur sticking out? Is this a location where there was a sidings, for example? Maybe that's the end of the sidings. So we'll all just go on a bit. So let's explore and see if anything else turns up. Same again, just a little bit further down, you can see yourself, it does look like it's a retainer. Weird design. I suppose if it holds the wall back, it holds the wall back. Ends around there. So we've now reached the district of Wath. Why I say that, because up there we have Wath Viaduct. You notice here we've got plenty of lines going underneath. In fact, over there was Wath Colliery. And strangely enough, just a bit further up our line, you'll find Wath Junction. So Wath it is. And here is that junction. So the main line originally went that way, but then it was diverted to industry, so we're now going this way. As you can see, we're halfway round this curve now, but just look how wide it is. It was certainly busy in its day. So we're now in the district of Woomwell. In fact, we're very near the end of that curve now. And if you look over there, can you see that tree line? That was a line that went to Woomwell Colliery, which was around there, very close to where that viaduct was. But different railway companies, so they never touched, remember. Well, that Woomwell Colliery line will join up with our line up at a junction about half a mile up. Let's see if we can trace it. And there we have it. There's that Worsbrough Branch. Went from the colliery. It's going to join up with us very shortly up ahead. So here we are at Woomwell Junction. As you say, the line to the left went to the colliery. The line to the right is the one we just come up. On this side, again the one to the left goes up north, and the one to the right here is the one that we'll be following, hopefully getting to the business end of the line. I believe there's an engine shed coming up pretty soon, so hold on tight. Okay guys, we're now at Aldham Junction. So the line we've just been through is the one that's just coming towards us now from the left hand side. On the right hand side there was a line. Remember I told you about that last junction where it created a line going up north? Well, this is another part of that triangle that makes it up. But just nipping round, this was the site of Mitchell Colliery, and it had its own engine shed. I know I said it was an engine shed, but it looks like it was a Mickey Mouse one, because again there was coke ovens and everything here, so certainly a very busy location. Looks like there's two bridges here, and like I say, that's the site of that colliery. Looks like it's some kind of a substation and housing estate. That's our line as it continues on. There was a spur in here that went to another colliery at Darfield. Darfield Colliery was up that way, plus a few other bits and bobs. Right, look at the size of this. This was definitely sidings galore. Now again, there was another coke plant round here, and there was also a bottle plant on this side. So maybe these were like holding sidings for the bits and bobs. Oh, very nearly there, mate, very nearly there. Wath Yard coming up. Still approaching Wath. Do love these old bricks. I don't know if that's retaining or whether it had anything going over it. It's nice to see that than the old concrete stuff. Very strange. Chucked here, there and everywhere. Looks like they're old lampposts. Maybe they were used for the sidings around here. It does look pretty wide. It could have had sidings, you know, first generation stanchions. But other than that, it's a bit of a wild guess at the moment. And this is the final approach to Wath marshalling yard. Don't think we'll see many 76s, but memories, guys, memories. And so we make our way in. Look at that swallow. I thought this was Thornaby, but no, it's Wath is ahead. Yep, just looking back on that last tunnel, and look what's at the side here. A branch line leading to a place called Elsecar. Right, so this literally is the entrance into Wath Yard. Now looking at this bridge, obviously it's got a river next to it. Did it originally have a river, or was this the railway bridge that's been utilised and had this river diverted? That is a question I'm going to put out to you guys, because the design looks very similar to every other bridge I've filmed so far, and it is in line with the original railway track. Well, welcome to Wath marshalling yard. It looks like there's a nature reserve on the side which had nothing to do with the marshalling yard, but this on the other side was where the main holding sidings were, and it looks like it's full of industry and houses at the moment. But this main pathway is a route that went straight through the side of the yard. Let's see if we can trace the actual location of Wath Depot. Right, let me give you a bit of history about Wath marshalling yard. Or should I officially say Wath upon Dean marshalling yard. This marshalling yard was opened in 1907. It was built to accommodate the coal industry. In fact, there was 45 collieries within a 5-mile surrounding area. So coal was brought here and sorted into longer trains, and it moved in bulk to the key destinations in the UK. Its main traffic was over the Pennines, serving the coal-hungry industries of the northwest. The yard was a very infamous large yard. It had 35 miles worth of track, split between reception sidings, sorting sidings, departure sidings. In fact, the yard dealt with over 5,000 wagons per day. There's a busy yard. So unfortunately the yard did eventually close in 1988. There was an addition to this yard, and that was a Wath Traction Maintenance Depot that was built in 1963. So this accommodated 08s, 20s, 25s, 31s, 37s, 40s, 47s, 56, and not forgetting of course the 76s. This closed unfortunately in 1982, and we're now going to check out that site. Here we have it, guys. This is the location of Wath Depot. Literally where that big house is there was where the main shed was. Obviously you can see yourself, it's just a massive industrial estate now. No railway lines whatsoever. Gone forever. Strangely enough, there is a sign of beauty on the other side. They've made this fantastic nature reserve. Shame there isn't any 76s to complement the picture. Right, let's get back to that Elsecar branch. Well, here we are on the Elsecar branch. This is mainly a colliery branch. There's 1 or 2 collieries on the way before we hit Elsecar at the end. I believe there's also some kind of preserved stuff on this line, so let's see what current condition that lot's in. Well, it's a very little sign, but it is a sign. So this is the start of the yard that served Cortonwood Colliery. It's on the left hand side. It had a coal cover and the lot, so yes, finally we find some industry on this line. Unfortunately, there's a big industrial estate over the side of the pit, so I don't think we're going to find any more clues. Let's keep checking anyway. And there's the main gate post you'd have to get through in order to get to the colliery. So definitely colliery sidings here. Well, I said this was a busy colliery line, didn't I? So this is a site of Willow Colliery. So again, this is an industrial estate full of Morrison's, Pizza Huts and this, that and the other. All gone. Wow, an abandoned railway with an abandoned playground in front of it. That does look derelict. And here she is, the road to nowhere. Ouch. There it is looking the other way. Bit of a pathway at the side, let's see how that pans out. Well, I had to fight through all them brambles, that was painful. As you can see, this line is derelict. There is nothing left, I'm afraid. It's a shame. I believe there's a wonderful heritage centre at the end, but obviously didn't have the funds, or it was dodgy management. Right, let's keep following it, see if we can reach the terminal. Oh dear, nearly there. I can see it, I think I can see it. Anyway, there's some funny crosses and railway warning signs, and I think there's a Lasses Bridge in the background. So it looks like we're very close to Elsecar, the end of anyway. I think there might be a station around here. Let's keep checking it out. Notice here how it's well spread out. This is definitely a sign we're at the end of the line. Most probably where there were several sidings taking on goods and bits and bobs from the industry that it's served. Like I say, there's a Lasses Bridge ahead. I'm getting pretty close. I think I might be able to see some station buildings. Let's check it out. Final bit of the branch now. Looks like this old ironworks kind of pumpy kind of thing. Or is that part of the pits? Very traditional looking. So as you can see, that gives you an idea on how close we are now to the end of the branch. This is where the station is. Look, nice sentinel there. This line now is derelict. Derelict, derelict. Disgrace, really. Yeah, there we go. Look at it. You see the nameplate. And this is what's happened to Elsecar's preserved railways. Look, it's a derelict, just like the railway in front. Disgusting. Oh, shame really. So much effort's gone into this, but look at it. Apparently this station closed in 2020. COVID issues. They didn't get enough traffic. Like I say, it just destroyed itself. Painful really. Look over there, you can see train due at 12. 12 of never maybe. No trains are going from there, are they? So this is the termination point. Remember, this was a goods line. This was built for preservation. This was never used. So this is where it ended. As you can see, there's a nice hub of buildings for different forms of industry. It may have been cold towards the end, but there's plenty of other industries here. Looks like this preserved site did try. Unfortunately, wasn't too successful. Let me spin you around. Look at this. Look at the ironwork on there. That is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a shame, but it's brilliant. It's still there. Wow, there's so much dereliction around here. But at least they've not destroyed it, so there is potential to preserve it at a later stage. Wow, still a lot of railway clues around here. Look at these old miners, how they are, railways. You even got the exit down here for the trail. So this is the very end of Elsecar. Hope you enjoyed the trip, guys.